Hello, this is Warpath 1985 speaking, and in today's video/review, I was discussing the Transformers Generation Selects Black Zarak, and also Zarak himself. Now, Black Zarak first appeared in the Transformers Super God Master Force series, but more or less the character of Zarak, or Scorponok, appeared in the Rebirth Transformers TV miniseries, or full-part technically, and also in the Marvel Comics, alongside with UK and etc. general supplementary material. Black Zarak will eventually reappear again in Transformers Zone, but be slightly different and also be leaning to more of that pirate general theming with the character design of Black Zarak and Zarak himself, but also be included with a cape like most of the just what they call them, like demon generals, if I recall correctly. Because of that, this is kind of like a little bit more outdated when it comes to this character, because this is based on Super God Master Force version before he got that general upgrade. Nevertheless, it is still a pretty great figure. Black Zarak is actually relatively small. Many people don't really realize that Black Zarak is actually relatively small, and so is Grand Maxus. But yes, he was relatively small, very small in fact. He was about pretty much the same exact size as most Mega Supreme Guardian Robot sized characters. This get a little bit more wonky when you get to like Transformers Zone, where for some reason all of them were kind of like a little bit out of scale with each other. Shadowcon is kind of the most weirder ones, because he was like the same size as like Devastator. So that means that Shadowcon was heavily damaged and had to go through the same thing as Black Zarak and be rebuilt into a smaller form, or Devastator somehow really big. Might be incorrect with that because I haven't seen Transformers Zone yet. But nevertheless, the size of the character is pretty accurate to how he's portrayed in the Transformers Super God Master Force TV show. I'm not doing any sort of like comparisons with those Transformers Super God Master Force characters, but the last part I would like to mention is that no, the figure does not suffer from gold plastic syndrome. I know many people have seen the that Toy Guy video or general review where he had his figure's general chest control panel piece, whatever, be broken, but it doesn't really mean that it was because of the gold plastic that's used for this toy. It was just because of the shipping being pretty bad. But that aside, let's talk about the figure. Now, the figure comes with like a bunch of little accessories. First of all, first moving the ones that are part of his body. Now, most of these are just reuses of the original Scorponok mold from Earthrise, since he is a Earthrise Scorponok retool / repaint, technically. And there's more less, yeah, recolor. Try to focus on there, but the gold's very, very shiny. Kind of looks like it's focusing on my hand. There you go. Yeah, it's very similar to the one that was included with the original toy, but also the Earthrise version of Scorponok. It's pretty cool. The cool part is that it has these little windows for the SIG mode, or base mode actually. It's very simple. Blade features again with the claw. Very similar to like Clamshank basically from Master Universe, or just functions the same. Others are the city panels, or tower panels technically, armor bits, whatever, armor panels. Original toy, these were just part of the Scorponok mode and city mode, but also the claw, or more or less the claw shield, was much larger. But the cool part is that designers who made the Scorponok version of this general mold added the feature where you can combine the pieces and form the larger shield that was featured with his original toy, but also the animes, and I believe also in the Rebirth miniseries. So yeah, now has a larger shield claw. It's really cool, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't use that extra arm bits in his calves. Other accessories are his cannons, which he comes with 2. And this is more of an accessory that belongs to Zarak, but the horns are removable, or the tiny pincers, or mandibles typically, of the Scorponok mode, or Scorpion mode. Finally, we have the Tyrant Spear, which is very, very big. It's much larger than the actual like figure itself. Like it's like a couple of like centimeters larger, which is insane. And it's kind of a big reason why this figure is a little bit more expensive compared to the original price of Scorpion, which is like $150. Well, this one was $200, and was our first $200 Titan class until like very recently with the return to the $150 price point of Star Convoy, which I would like to own someday. But the Tyrant Spear itself can be separated into a couple different pieces. They look very similar to the weapons used by... I wonder if it was inspired by this figure when it was originally released back in... I want to see the first version of Black Zarak when it was released back in 1988, I believe. Destroyer from Godzilla vs. Destroyer. So yeah, you get kind of very similar to like with those type of like designs of weapon pieces, especially with this one, which pretty much looks like the little crabs are turned into the Destroyer, or formed into them actually. Godzilla tangent aside, you also get the parts to form the general pole for the spear. And you can either kind of like combine them to form different types of spears, but the one I showed you earlier is like the one that was like predominantly is meant or more or less recommended to form the spear. Obviously these are general interchangeable and slightly changed or moved around for the city mode, and also the Scorpion and Dragon mode, which I'll get into a little later. So for that, I'll move on to articulation. Okay, and for articulation of Scorpion is pretty impressive. So Scorpion was released after Mega Supreme, which I will be actually getting in soon, because for a Christmas present, it was revealed to me that my uncle, in fact, pre-ordered him and should be coming into like September, which is awesome. Hopefully it comes in soon. Maybe I can do a review. I don't know. But Mega Supreme was like our first forte into like really good like Titan scale articulation. It is still very clunky because it's a Mega Supreme. He's a pretty chunky toy. There's a little bit more of improvement when compared to like the other previously re-articulated figures like Trepticon, who's getting a re-release in for Generation Selects. Maybe remember to get in like not Super God Force, Zone Force and a Beast Wars second version of like that general mold, which is super cool. I'm not sure if they're gonna make those, but I won't be shocked if they do, since they still have the mold around apparently. And also Predaking, because Devils and Predaking were previously the super articulated figures. You know, yes, they're still combiners, and they still have like those combiner limitations. They're still super articulated, but uniquely, Black Zarak or the Scorpion mold was our first general forte into super articulation when it comes to these figures, which is kind of like super cool because it was kind of like on par with figures that were released around at the same time, like most notably the Fast Track mold and a few others, which also Fast Track was like also the first forte into like really well articulated modulators, because most of them didn't really had that same articulation compared to him for a while. First, I'll be talking about the head, which is very simple. You can look up and down, create this like little hinge, and move a little bit upwards if you move the ports. But in general, you can move up and down. Has a swivel, and it works. It's a little bit clunky because most of these larger Headmasters, where these tiny class figures are a little bit clunky, but still work nonetheless. This one had to go a little more hands-on because most of these like really tank class figures have the tendency to keel over if you're not being particularly nice with them. So I might as well just zoom in a moment. I'm going to move the camera slightly so I can like so you see it. Another very squeaky. There you go. Others would be a shoulder rotation, which is of course ratchety. Also go all the way. Same move it in and out. A very nice elbow bend. and individually articulated pincers and claws, which can obviously open and close, and either crush a core class figure like so. Other articulation points are obviously the waist swivel, which is again the Vic 360. I need to be very careful with the backpack because it has a tendency to unpeg. So what I usually recommend is either move these arms forward and you kind of grab onto those and just do this. So now like untab the backpack. Of course, it's still be untabbed, but it's a lot better tolerance compared to the original one, which was even worse. Lastly would be the leg rotation, which is still really good. However, future Titan class figures like the Nemesis, Metroplex, Cybertron Metroplex would beat this thing like to hell and back because, god damn, that figure has really nice articulation. Nemesis was also pretty good, but also I don't know what his name. Tidal Wave, there we go, would have also really good articulation. That's very similar to this, but a little bit better in some areas. Like wrist rotation, which I forgot to mention. He does have wrist rotation, but more or less like a 5-step. But whatever. But I do recommend when moving the legs to move these panels aside, which are mostly for the seating mount or supporting mount. So you can do a very nice Van Damme split, which goes really far because of transformation. He has a nice back kick and forward as well, which can't really support itself because well, there's a lot of like weight from the legs, and probably like a little bit worse with something like the upgrade kicks with the extra weight in the calves or the thighs, technically. Yes, the thighs and then the calves as well, because apparently you add like a couple more stuff to those as well. So it'll make it like a little bit worse, but nevertheless, it just does its job. A nice double bend at the knee for the transformation. Go a little deeper, you have this like this. And finally, a ankle tilt. So yeah. The Black Zarak / Scorpion mold is really nice when it comes to articulation. The only problem with it is that the ratchets, again, they can't really do most things, because most of these are soft ratchets and some are heavy ratchets for like the thighs and the hips. But in general, it's just still baby steps where we get to like things like the Nemesis and Tidal Wave, where we get those really tough ratchets. Actually, no, never mind. Tidal Wave did a problem where it had a similar thing to the arc where his ratchet just exploded, which just I don't know how that happened. I'm still getting Tidal Wave because I really like Tidal Wave's design. I like naval characters, or characters turning into naval vehicles, but nevertheless, it is still a shame. Aside from that, articulation of the figure, really good. So most of it is retained, kind of, in like the Scorpion mode, but like half of it is like not really available because it turns like the rest of the body with Scorpion mode. Next, I'll be talking about the figure and the ultimate modes, and the interconnectivity with the Airlock or Micromaster system, which is finally making a comeback after like a slight dormancy between like Nemesis and Tidal Wave for some reason. It's finally returning with Star Convoy, which is fantastic because it also means that we might be getting Micromasters and hopefully mini-cons again, because a lot of people are like seeing the opportunities and the general the possibility for us getting really nice circulated Micromasters and mini-cons, which is awesome. Hopefully they do finish off the older teams that are kind of weren't really finished, like Air Patrol, the Race Car Patrol, and etc. from Siege and a little bit in Earthrise technically, and also technically Kingdom, I think. No, mostly just Earthrise. Obviously, like other teams that were introduced in Legacy, Evolution, and United with the mini-cons. Aside from that, I'll move on to the rest of the review. Now here is Zarak in his robot mode. Now Zarak is the most interesting figure of all, like most Headmaster type transforming figures. In general, just the Zarak figure mold. There you go. Because he does use like some of the technology that was emulated from Earthrise and also other general figures, where they use the blast effect ports as like pegs, and also like his transformers being like very unique. It is still the exact same compared to the Zarak that was included with Scorponok, but it is still like a little more finicky because you have to deal with all these other bits. Now I'm not talking about the accessories with him because I was talking about the Black Zarak mold. What we're talking about is the Headmaster, which he is included with. Now the Headmaster is obviously your standard Headmaster or Tidemaster mold. Being first introduced with Titan's Return and then being integrated on further with figures like Apeface, which is the only and so far the first and only figure to have the legs turn into the, or Headmaster figure that is, turn into the face, with just the legs, turn into the face instead of being the back. The back. There you go. It's a little hard to focus on there because it's so tiny. There you go. But yeah, he's only figured the so far and was first one to introduce that general design philosophy and idea. It's very simple when it comes to articulation. It just has ball joints at the arms, a ball joint at the head, so that they can use for general so Headmaster, but also for the general head mode and general sitting pose, or just just the same pose you can do with the legs. General tangent aside from the general weirdness of these figures, Masters figures, which we're still waiting on most of those Power Master dudes. We do have like some of them, but they turn into like Headmasters, and others turn to like cassettes with Double Dealers Power Masters. But they are technically becoming a thing again with the Masterpiece Gestalt Genrai with his Power Master Genrai Q, whatever. Little tangent aside. The articulation for the triggers, again, very basic when it comes to most of the figures are released during Earthrise, but also future figures like Legacy and Serval. So we get that again, the ball joined at the neck, which just get hindered a little bit. These little pylons, or shutter pylons that connect with the general ports on the neck piece, or neck port whatever of the Black Zarak Scorpion mold. He has hinged shoulders, hinged elbows, which are very nicely articulated because the general transformation. Very limited waist swivel, nice kick, and the thigh cut, both forward and back. And same with the knees, because again, the transformation. And very, very nice ankle rockers. So yeah, very, very basic figure articulation for this time and future figures. But it's still a little bit more limited when it comes to future figures, because future figures were innovative a little bit more with them all usually having like at least some wrist articulation or even more articulation when it comes to like the ankles. First comparison with his minions, Black Zarak, and the Guardminder / Fast Track character size mold, which is, I still want to get more Fast Tracks to have like little Guardminder little squad that was like shown in the Super God Master Force anime. Was of the Monster Bots, I believe, or the Monster Bot Headmasters? Is that what Monster Bots? I don't know. I usually kind of get confused with the Monster Bots, but also you have like the these little. Again, I can't remember the team, but we have Apeface and Snapdragon. There you go. I have Apeface and Snapdragon, which are, look pretty good together because again he commanded over them after like Gaoshan's really dumb demise. Headmasters was weird, but man, they killed a lot of characters in really dumb ways. We have the Decepticon clones in their beast mode because I'm too lazy to transform back into the war mode because there's a lot of reveal so far. And I think we're talking in like 20 minutes maybe. That's was unedited time, I'm not really sure, in like normal time. Edit time, in fact. We also have the Pretenders, which do have most of them except for Bludgeon, who, fun fact, did appear in the Super God Master Force manga, but never appeared in the anime, which is super weird. We have Bombers, Skullgrin, and also Iguanus. There you go. We also have a Target Master here, because for some reason, I don't know why, all the Target Masters are like really hard to get now. Even those in Quake are still okay to like find around online, etc. But god damn it, what happened to re-releasing figures that are rare, Hasbro? I'm still waiting for them to release Singer and Misfire, because I was not able to get both of them at the time. I was able to find them, but I wasn't able to get them because I didn't have enough money to purchase all of them at once. Also, Squeeze Play and also Brownie for the Headmaster Juniors. And finally, the components for Survival, because I do not want to get Forges Maximus, because I'd rather get Grand Maximus, because I'm a scale nut when it comes to Transformers figures. But yeah, we have Cog and who I call more or less the name I gave, or really just rephrase that. The name I gave for Red Cog is Bolt, because I just find it a lot better. Because calling Red Cog is kind of a little more confusing. It's better to have that be like True Armor Builder, seen in like Earthrise. But I'd rather just call the individual character that comes with Grand Maximus Bolt. I might have explained that with the fast track review, I'm not really sure, but yeah. And other comparisons would be the Autobot Headmasters, which I only have 2 out of the 4, or technically 5 actually, because Cerebos was their commanding officer in the original Headmasters anime. But yeah, I have 2 out of the 5 members of the Headmaster team, original Headmaster team. That being Hardhead and Highbrow. Aside from that, that's mostly it for comparisons of the figure itself. It's quite nice. Again, this is a really nice figure. I'm glad they improved like a lot on these little like Headmaster dudes. Because with their Cerebos, he was a brick. You cannot do anything with him. Although I didn't interact with that figure in person for that long, because I mostly interact with that figure at conventions, but wow, he is a brick. And if you're curious, I much prefer the American version of Cerebos over the anime Japanese version, because I think the facepaint just works better. I don't know. Aside from that, I'll move on to the other modes of Scorponok, or more or less the Black Zarak mold. Alright, so first I'll be going over Scorponok's or Black Zarak's general most iconic mode, which is also the Scorpion mode. And there's a lot with this toy. Control area, where you can have, like, for example, Zarak, this Headmaster form. Pilot the giant Scorpion, and close it back up like so. Again, this is a pretty much intended play feature of this thing, which is super cool because that means you can store the Time Master as Headmaster in there, not worry about it because it's pretty much in a safe place and you can't lose it, etc. Or just have it like on the figure itself and plug it into the head. All right. So after much trials and tribulation, I was able to finally put the head in there correctly. I just had it like in reverse, so I just should look like that. Head, again, the same articulation as the original one, but you also move the mandibles, and the same articulation applies to the arms, but again, they get a lot more Scorpion-like movements, typically. So that's pretty cool. For where you put the accessories, it's kind of like, Because recall correctly, with the original figure, it had 4 guns. You're supposed to put the guns here, the 4th ones, or where they were used to be, technically. Because this is on the back side of the arms now. Just plug into there. The shoulders. The arm panels, again, work the same as like the original one, which I also these corporate up mold were just really correctly just plug onto the side like this. Like that. And the rest of the the Tyrant Spear can be just taken apart and plugged into wherever. The original one was a lot easier because it didn't really, you couldn't really, best to describe it, do much with it. Because the original one, if I recall correctly, you either had to just slap it down there on the side or just kind of deal with it. The shield just plugs back here to the tail, like so. These little like 5mm ports just sticking out, and just goes on here like so. Once it just fills out the general empty space left back there. And again, you can do whatever you want with the Tyrant Spear bits. What I usually recommend is just combine all the general bits here to form like a really big tip. Plug on into here with a 5mm port. It works. Or you can do like the what's recommended by the instructions in the G1 figure. Just kind of just separate it and plug it onto the sides of here. It's unique. It's very nice when it comes to displayability. It's obviously very big, and you have a tough time with moving around and general doing Scorponaut things. There's like more articulation because like the little legs here. Like it's limited, but it can do the job basically. Just make it just it's moving around during bullshit. And I pulled up like some visual images, and yeah, I posted actually have like this on the bottom here. Oops. But yeah, the Tyrant Spear display ability of storage with the Scorpion mode. The Scorpion mode. There you go. But yeah, it's pretty big. I like it. Again, you have more articulation with the tail here. It reduces backpack, and now it's like a full tail articulation in here. It also can roll. Almost forgot about that. It can roll with these little like giant wheels. One like main one in the back of the tail, and two up here in the front. You see like one here has like a little thing that sticks out. Yeah, I really like it. I really do. You have some like Headmaster compatibility with like little ports here and there. Like, you have like, I don't know, like Black Zarak just there, or Zarak just standing there. That's an option. Or I believe somewhere else around here. I'm not sure. But yeah, again, same functions as the original one, or just the normal world mode claws. Clamps down figure like so. That's it for just the Scorpion mode. I have nothing else really to say about it. It's cool, it's neat. And I'll be moving on to the same mode, or maybe the Dragon mode. Actually, no, I'm moving on to the Dragon mode because it's a little bit weird. Alright, time to prepare for some crazy things. So here is Black Zarak and his Dragon mode. Now, this was a thing in the original anime, and I wouldn't be shocked if the same exact thing that occurred with Trax. Because Trax had this thing where it had this secret mode that was like weird in between, like with his various modes that the designers just made up, I guess. This is also the same thing with that, where it's just a little secret mode. You can turn it into a double-headed dragon thing. He's big. It's a really dumb idea, and I love it. Again, same feature. Put the figures in there, whatever. But what I usually do with the Tyrant Spear, just stick it in there, because it was the same idea of the storage with the Scorpion mode, just have it onto the sides, whatever. But I prefer just have it like this. It's like a massive little stinger, or just spike, similar to Ravazor from like I think it was like Ravazor, right? Rathalos. There we go, Rathalos. Yes. This guy. I'm just gonna pull it up right now because I have my phone with me. so to make sure that I won't get this stuff wrong. Very similar to the Rathalos from Monster Hunter, giant spike on the top, basically. But yeah, it's a cool idea. It's a fun idea, and it's cool that you can do it with the Earthrise mold. I don't recommend spending it like it, because it's so like top heavy, and I don't know how you're gonna display this just like that, and not look ridiculous. But it's an option. I can tell you that it's an option. But yeah, I shall move on to the last mode of this journal figure, which is the city mode, which is probably the most important, interesting to me, because it has a lot of pretty features. Okay, so here he is in city mode, or the being Black Zarak. There is a lot of things that I have to mention about this that is pretty much a running trend with most city formers and tiny figures, characters, etc. that have been released the past couple of years. The first like kind of really notable one that kind of showed us like, oh, we're not gonna get that anymore, are we? Would be like the first one, the very first one, that being Metroplex. So Metroplex didn't really come with some of his accessories and partner figures, etc. This would be a running trend of most of these figures, and it kind of become more apparent that would be like a thing with characters like Trypticon. If you don't know, the original Trypticon came with a lot of little doodads. Force Maximus, he didn't really have that general playability where like just city mode and etc. wasn't really that good looking until like a Mega Supreme and obviously Scorponok came out and general revitalized that playset general multiplayer. The first play feature would be the easiest one, which would be the compatibility with the fast track mold. Again, involved in figures like this and down here as well. It's pretty simple play feature. Same applies for the Micromasters as well. You also have the airlock system, which is included with most of these ramps here, because a lot of people were complaining that oh, why everyone isn't here. Reason why I pretty much could presume the reason that they didn't include airlock systems in the front ramp will be kind of like impede the general playability with the ramp general play feature, because again, it's supposed to be a ramp, have figures charging like so. But again, fast track sets back region mode, which is I can perfectly take it or leave it, pretty much with me. Similar to like those previous mentioned figures, Metroplex, not Metroplex, but Trypticon and what was his name again? I forgot his name again. Fortress Maximus. You have various areas to store and place a lot of Time Masters or Headmasters. You can put figures kind of like back here, figures here, which is really hard because for some reason the paint is like very thick on there. Here, and also here as well. And again, as you just saw, you can have like, for example, Zarak be seated here. Again, a lot of features like this. You also have the claw feature here, still being in use. And you have these large little towers, the general city pieces. You also have little play features with the characters like Fast Track, where you have the modulars and etc. Turn these little areas like little cannons. Again, because we've got modulators, can work with that. Otherwise, I really love this playset. It's not as playful when compared to the original one or others, but you still get that same amount of playability with the Micromasters and modulators and etc. Or technically the weaponizers, actually, with the fast track mold in that case. You also get a bunch of little like blast effects, which I forgot to mention a little earlier. Again, like little blast ports here with these little like weird like Gatling guns? I don't know. They're kind of like little like Thompson guns, but yeah, you have a bunch of little ports here and there. Some of these I don't recommend being used for things like the modulators, because with these ones here, because there's so much paint around here, you hear that? just get stuck in there a little bit. But since they're best specs, I don't have to worry about it because they're made of the silicone rubber material. Again, I really like this little base mode. It works well. It in general gets the job done with a base mode, and I think it's the best one we got for like a while. I recommend this figure a lot, and if you're curious how did I get this figure, I got it for a really nice price. And that being $125. Yeah, that is a steal when it comes to these Titan figures. But yeah, I got it for $125 at like a TFCon, and when I told everybody like, oh, I got it for $125 because they are like, we were saying like, oh, how much do you get that Black Zarak, or like, or mentioned like, oh, the person who I actually got the Fast Track figure from, I mentioned to him that, oh, I just got Black Zarak here. I want to get Fast Track to like finish off the trio because I also have Black Arichi. And he then asked me, oh, how much did you get the Black Zarak? And I mentioned, oh, I got it for $125. And he said, where? And I said, oh yeah, at the TF Source booth. And I was like, huh? And then I immediately saw him like over there in a giant line. Apparently, me saying that to a couple people immediately caused everybody to rush to the TF Source store, whatever. The weird store that a lot of people don't like anymore because it's really trashy. Thankfully, this figure is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're curious. But yeah, they ran to the TF Source like general booth and just bought most of the Black Zaraks after I left. You can still buy him if you're curious for like really cheap prices on the internet and aftermarket, and also in stores, etc. Because again, most of the Titans, I feel like Black Zarak was the most produced out of them, which is pretty cool for generous sex figures, but also for a Titan figure. Because most of the silicone Titan figures very recently have been impossible to find. Now since I was able to get it in time before she sold out, Tidal Wave is still available in some places, and hopefully I can get it in time before he again disappears as well. And hopefully they release a Nemesis, 72 Scorponok, and Omega Supreme, and others as well. Because I really want to get that figure, because that figure is really cool. Aside from that, that's all for this review. I have nothing else particularly to say about this figure other than just, it's super cool, I love it, and it's really nice to interface to my Decepticons and general, all Japanese general Decepticon figures where I have in my collection. But yeah, that's all for this review. Like, comment, subscribe. Hopefully, I shall see you next time.